that reference. How did you feel about it?
Well, it was actually Bill de Blasio that made that reference, and as he's indicated, it was satire, it was his play, his skit.
Was it a mistake?
I think it was a mistake, not on Secretary Clinton's part. It was a mistake, I think, to have her involved, but a very minor one, because at the end of the day, it's the substantive issues of importance to the African-American community and others that will determine who prevails in the New York primary. And from my standpoint, Secretary Clinton has been right on the issues as it relates to a whole host of concerns, particularly dealing with the gun violence epidemic that continues to sweep many of the communities that I represent and many communities of color all over the country. And we know that Senator Bernie Sanders has effectively functioned as a wholly owned subsidiary of the National Rifle Association for the entirety of his career, both as mayor, a member of the House and the Senate, voting 5 times against background checks, voting twice to shield gun manufacturers from liability, voting essentially to allow...
I understand that you're against those votes. Can you really refer to him as a wholly owned subsidiary of the NRA? Do you really believe the NRA thinks that Bernie Sanders is just one of their guys?
Well, look, I think the reality is if we're going to essentially try to associate wrongfully Secretary Clinton with Wall Street interests when she spent her career actually fighting against Wall Street interests simply because a super PAC that she's prohibited by law from associating with has received some contributions from individuals who may work in the financial services industry, then I think we need to fairly scrutinize the fact that Bernie Sanders has consistently stood on the side of the NRA on vote after vote, including the liability one, which the NRA said is the most important vote to that organization in a generation.
All right, before I let you guys go, State Representative Boland.